The moment the lights dropped inside Toronto's Rogers Stadium, the air thickened with something electric. Not just excitement, but history. Screams rose like thunder, flashes exploded across the crowd like 1,000 lightning bolts, and then BLACKPINK emerged. Not walked, erupted, onto the stage. Jisoo, Jennie, Rosé, and Lisa didn't just start the Deadline World Tour. They detonated it. And what happened next? Well, nothing could have prepared the city for what was coming. Before we go any deeper into the chaos, heartbreak, and jaw-dropping power that BLACKPINK unleashed on Toronto, make sure to smash that like, drop your hottest take in the comments, and subscribe for full tour coverage, because what you're about to hear isn't just a concert recap. It's a deep dive into one of the most insane nights in BLACKPINK's career, and we've got everything. So, what made this night different? Why are fans already calling it legendary, unreal, and the greatest BLACKPINK performance ever? Let's rewind the clock. It all started before the first note even played. Thousands of blinks, some who had camped out for 2 days straight, flooded the stadium, dressed in lightstick pinks, custom outfits, and tears of anticipation. The Deadline Tour was shrouded in mystery. No leaked set lists. No hints from the crew. Just cryptic Instagram stories, vanishing tweets, and one message repeated again and again: "You are not ready." And they weren't. Pattern interrupt. Visual, crowd roar, silence, sudden bass drop. The opening track? A never-before-heard remix of How You Like That fused with orchestral strings and glitchy industrial beats. The stadium exploded. Lisa's entrance, fierce, sharp, ice-cold, set the tone. This wasn't a pop show. This was a battle cry. Jennie followed with that signature smirk, radiating control. Then Jisoo, angelic yet untouchable. And finally Rosé, fire in her eyes, commanding the mic like it was her final stage. The stage itself transformed constantly. 1 second, a burning palace. The next? A digital wasteland of lasers and pyrotechnics. The production budget clearly went through the roof, with floating platforms, hydraulic lifts, and massive LED walls that wrapped the crowd in a 360-degree visual story. But here's where it gets deeper. Midway through the show, during a slowed-down version of Kill This Love, the lights dimmed unexpectedly. The music faded. Confusion rippled through the crowd. Then, a voice, Jisoo's, soft, raw, unfiltered, spoke directly to the audience. "Toronto," she said, her voice trembling just slightly, "you were the first city I ever visited outside Korea. I was nervous, scared, and now I'm home." The stadium fell silent. You could hear people crying. And then, boom, Rosé strummed the opening chords of a surprise unreleased song. A mid-tempo anthem that had fans holding their phones up like torches, whispering lyrics they were hearing for the first time. And just like that, Toronto became the birthplace of a new BLACKPINK era. But here's the part you won't see in any official footage. During Lisa's solo, right as she nailed the final dance break of Money, a fan in the front row fainted. Security rushed in, but Lisa saw it first. In the middle of the choreography, without missing a beat, she pointed to the fan, signaled staff, and paused the performance. The music stopped. The camera stopped. The crowd froze. Lisa walked over, knelt by the edge, and said, "Are they okay?" The fan was conscious again, nodding, overwhelmed. Lisa smiled, then turned back to the audience. "Toronto," she shouted, "you good?" The response? A deafening yes. Pattern interrupt. Zoom, heartbeat SFX, then slam back to full volume. They restarted the song from the beginning. And Lisa? She destroyed it. Twice as fierce, twice as fluid, twice as unforgettable, and just when you thought the concert had peaked, it didn't. Jennie appeared on a raised platform, solo spotlight, drenched in rain from a surprise indoor weather system. Singing You and Me under artificial lightning, she created a cinematic moment that fans are already calling the Toronto icon scene. Meanwhile, Jisoo debuted an extended version of Flower with a haunting violin arrangement that left the stadium breathless, and then, the encore. No one knew what was coming. People expected da-da-do, maybe Forever Young. But instead, the girls returned wearing Toronto Maple Leafs jerseys and performed a punk rock remix of Boombayah. Mosh pits broke out. Yes, mosh pits, at a BLACKPINK concert. It was chaos, it was beautiful, and it was BLACKPINK at their absolute wildest. Then came the final words, the lights dimmed for real this time. Rose spoke. Toronto, thank you for giving us one of the loudest, wildest, most beautiful nights of our lives. This tour isn't just for us, it's for you. For every blink who waited. Who believed. Who kept BLACKPINK alive. And then Jisoo, always quiet but powerful, added, "You were not ready, but you made us feel ready for anything." End scene. The crowd didn't leave for 20 minutes. Toronto didn't just witness a concert. They lived a moment that's already being written into K-pop history. Social media exploded. Hashtag BLACKPINK in Toronto and hashtag Deadline Tour Day 1 trended worldwide for hours. TikToks hit millions of views overnight. Fan cams of Lisa's reaction to the fainting fan went viral on Korean news. Even Canadian press, normally cautious, called the night transcendent. And here's your mid-video teaser, because if you think Toronto was wild, just wait until what's coming in Montreal, Vancouver, and beyond. We've got leaks, backstage whispers, and rumors about surprise collaborations that are going to change everything you thought you knew about BLACKPINK's future. So what happens next? Will the Deadline Tour evolve into a full global takeover? Is a new album already in the pipeline? Or was this night, this chaos, this Toronto eruption, BLACKPINK's way of saying goodbye to an era? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, if you weren't in Toronto that night, you missed a once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. So if you don't want to miss what's next, hit that follow button, drop your wildest theory in the comments, and tell us, were you ready for BLACKPINK in Toronto? Because Toronto will never forget July 22nd. And neither will BLACKPINK, and even after the last note faded, the Rogers Stadium still pulsed with energy, like the show hadn't truly ended. Fans lingered, hugging strangers, crying, screaming lyrics into the night sky. People were changed. You could feel it in the silence afterward, something massive had just happened. Not just a performance, but a cultural moment that hit harder than anyone expected. Outside, streets were flooded with pink light sticks waving like victory flags. Social media lit up with unfiltered emotion, reaction videos, emotional breakdowns, live replays of Rosé's vocals, Jisoo's words, Lisa's heroic pause, and Jennie's show-stopping solo. Headlines started to roll in from every corner of the globe. And just like that, BLACKPINK wasn't just trending. They were defining the moment. So the question is, where does it go from here? Because if this was just day one of the Deadline Tour, what on earth are they planning next? Stay tuned.